Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Active Listening. I'm Alyssa, and today we're going to do something a little different. Something that I think you're absolutely going to love for truly boosting your English. We're going to spend a day in my life together, step by step, right here with me. Why are we doing this? Because our daily routines, those little moments from waking up to winding down, are just packed with the kind of natural, everyday English that native speakers actually use. It's not textbook English. It's the real deal, the common phrases, the easy flow of conversation, the human-like expressions that make communication effortless. My goal today is to give you a clear, engaging listening experience filled with those natural turns of phrase, so you can really get a feel for how English sounds in real life. We'll weave in plenty of chances for you to practice listening deeply, mimicking what you hear, and then, most importantly, using these very expressions yourself. So, are you ready to jump into a typical day with me? Let's begin. The dreaded sound of my alarm usually kicks things off around 6:30 in the morning. That's my signal to at least think about starting the day. I'm not one of those people who just bounces out of bed. My first few moments are typically spent stretching a bit, just kind of easing myself awake while I'm still all snuggled under the covers. It's a little ritual that helps me shake off that early morning grogginess. After a couple of minutes, when I feel a bit more human, I finally swing my legs over the side and stand up, usually with a soft groan. My very first thought, honestly, is almost always about coffee. Like, okay, brain, let's get some caffeine in here. Or sometimes it's a quick mental scan of the day ahead. What's on the cards today? From there, I make a beeline straight for the bathroom. Brushing my teeth is priority number one, and I'm a stickler for those 2 minutes with my electric toothbrush, making sure everything feels super clean. Then, a splash of cold water on my face, which is probably the best wake-up call after the coffee. Oh, and I always make sure to chug a big glass of water right away. Hydration is key, folks. As you're listening to this, try to picture your own morning. What's the very first thing you do? Can you describe that initial feeling of waking up, maybe with just a few simple English phrases in your head? Next, it's off to the kitchen for breakfast, which, I have to admit, is one of my absolute favorite parts of the morning. During the week, I tend to keep it pretty fuss-free. My usual go-to is a bowl of oatmeal with some fresh berries and a few nuts sprinkled on top. It's hearty and keeps me full. Occasionally, if I'm feeling a bit more ambitious, I'll whip up a quick smoothie, throwing in some spinach, fruit, and a bit of protein powder. While I'm cooking or blending, I'll often pop on a short English news podcast. This is my little trick for sneaking in some early English listening practice without even really thinking about it. It just goes to show how easily you can weave English into your daily life. After I'm done eating, I give the kitchen a quick tidy up, loading my bowl into the dishwasher and wiping down the counters. A clean space just makes me feel a bit more organized and ready to face the day. As you imagine me doing this, try to repeat some of those action phrases aloud, like, I make a beeline for, or I whip up a smoothie. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel. With breakfast out of the way, my focus shifts to getting properly ready for whatever the day holds. Be it work, errands, or just tackling my to-do list. The whole process of getting out the door can sometimes feel like a mini marathon, but I've got it down to a pretty good rhythm now. First stop, my closet. This is where the daily fashion debate happens, even if it's just in my head. What to wear? It usually depends on my plans and, crucially, what the weather's doing. I always sneak a peek at my weather app to see if it's going to be a bright and sunny day, or if I'll need an umbrella. Today, it's looking quite pleasant out there, so I'm thinking a comfy top and a good pair of jeans. Once I've settled on an outfit, I quickly get dressed. I try to be speedy about it, but sometimes my mind wanders, and I find myself staring into space for a minute or two. Next on the agenda is a quick touch-up for my hair and a dash of makeup. Nothing too fancy for a weekday. A quick brush, maybe a ponytail, and then just a bit of mascara and lip balm. It's all about efficiency in the mornings. While I'm doing this, guess what? More English. I often have another podcast playing, or I might even catch a quick English news segment on YouTube. And sometimes I literally narrate my actions to myself in English. Whispering or just thinking, okay, I'm brushing my hair now. What color lipstick should I wear? It's a fantastic way to practice thinking directly in English without the pressure of speaking to anyone. When you're getting ready, try to do the same. As you pick out your clothes or brush your teeth, just say the actions out loud in English. No one's listening, so you can really experiment. Before I can officially leave the house, I've got to sort out my bag. This involves a mental checklist: laptop, notebook, pens, my trusty water bottle, and a healthy snack. If I've packed a lunch, like my simple salad today, that goes in too. Then the triple check for the essentials: keys, wallet, phone. You know that heart-stopping moment when you think you've forgotten one of those? Yeah, I try to avoid that. Finally, it's time to head out. My commute to the office isn't a massive ordeal, thankfully. I typically hop on the bus. And that's another golden opportunity for more English listening. Headphones on, and I'm usually diving into an audiobook or a slightly more advanced English podcast. Sometimes, if I'm feeling less focused, I'll just look around at people on the bus and try to imagine what they might be talking about, or silently describe them in English. On a really nice day, I might even opt to walk part of the way. A good stroll really helps clear my head before diving into work. Now, think about your own morning commute, or how you typically leave the house. What little English phrases could you use to describe those moments? All right, this is where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? A massive chunk of our day revolves around interacting with other people, whether that's at work, at school, or just running errands. Let's dive into some typical everyday conversations and how they flow naturally. When I walk into the office, the very first thing I do is say hello to my colleagues. It's always a simple, friendly exchange. I might spot Mark at his desk and just casually say, "Good morning, Mark. How are you doing today?" And he'd probably reply, "Morning, Alyssa. I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?" My response would be something like, "I'm good, thanks." A bit tired, but totally ready to tackle the day. Did you have a good weekend? You see, it's just easygoing small talk. We're not getting into deep philosophical debates, just connecting as human beings. It's this kind of conversation that really builds your confidence. When you greet someone, try to go beyond just hello. Ask, "How are you doing?" Or, "Did you have a good weekend?" And really listen to their response. Throughout the workday, it's pretty common to need a quick chat with someone. Maybe to ask for a hand or to discuss what's on our plates. I might pop over to Sarah's desk and say, "Excuse me, Sarah? Do you have a moment?" She'd probably look up and say, "Sure, what's up, Alyssa?" Then I'd explain, "I was just looking over the report for the new project, and I had a quick question about the budget figures. I'm a little bit unclear on page 5. She might ask, "Oh, yes. Which part specifically?" And I'd point out, "It's the projected expenses for the third quarter. Could you possibly clarify where those numbers came from?" And she'd likely say, yes. Those were based on the estimates from the marketing team from last week. Let me pull up that email for you." To which I'd respond, "Perfect, thanks so much. That would be a huge help." And she'd just say, "No problem at all." See how those phrases like, "Excuse me? Do you have a moment?" Logically, "Could you possibly clarify?" Zrenia, and "That would be a huge help" make the conversation so much smoother and more polite. These are absolutely essential for making your English sound natural. Try using them next time you need to ask a question. Lunchtime is always a good break, and often involves a quick trip to a nearby cafe. This is another prime opportunity for practical English. Imagine I'm standing at the counter and the cashier cheerfully says, "Hi there. What can I get for you today?" I'd reply, "Hi. I'd like a chicken salad sandwich, please. And a medium black coffee." The cashier would confirm, "All right, a chicken salad sandwich and a medium black coffee. Anything else for you?" I'd typically say, "No, that's all, thank you," followed by them telling me the total. "That'll be $12.50, please." I'd hand over my card, saying, "Here you go." And they'd finish with, "Thank you. Your order will be ready in about 5 minutes. You can pick it up at the counter." To which I'd simply say, "Great, thanks." These kinds of everyday transactions might seem basic, but they're building blocks for confidence in real-life situations. The key is clarity and being polite. Now try to imagine yourself ordering your favorite food. How would you ask for it? What would you say if they asked anything else? Practice those little exchanges. The glorious moment of finally heading home after a busy day. It's such a wonderful feeling. The first thing I literally do when I walk through the door is kick off my shoes. There's something so liberating about that. Then it's straight to changing into something much more comfortable. Usually my trusty sweatpants and a soft t-shirt. Bliss. My evening routine often revolves around preparing dinner. Some nights I'm feeling adventurous and cook something a bit more elaborate. But most weekdays, it's all about speed and simplicity. Tonight, I think I'll just throw together a quick pasta dish with lots of fresh vegetables. While I'm chopping and stirring, I absolutely love to have some music playing. Or even better, a casual English podcast. It's my way of unwinding and keeping my English ear sharp without needing to intensely focus on every single word. It just creates a nice English atmosphere. After dinner, it's prime time for some serious relaxation. This could involve settling down with a good book. And yes, I make it a point to read English books whenever I can. It's a fantastic way to expand your vocabulary naturally. Or I might just cozy up on the couch and put on a TV show or a movie. I always try to watch in English, sometimes with subtitles if it's a new series, but I often challenge myself to watch without them. It's truly amazing how many common phrases, jokes, and cultural references you pick up just by watching something you enjoy. Sometimes, if I have friends or family pop over, we'll spend the evening just chatting. Maybe playing a board game. Or watching a movie together. These are fantastic opportunities for genuine, spontaneous conversation, where you really get to practice reacting and expressing yourself in the moment. Even when I'm just doing little things like tidying up the living room or getting my clothes ready for the next day, I try to keep my internal thoughts in English. Things like, okay, I need to put these books away, or what should I wear tomorrow? It's a quiet but powerful way to integrate English thinking into your everyday life. As you're listening, think about how you relax in the evening. What are your favorite ways to unwind? Can you describe them in English, even just to yourself? As the day gradually winds down, it's really important to set myself up for a good night's sleep. This final part of the day is all about creating a calm space and a chance for a little reflection. Before I actually hop into bed, I'll head back to the bathroom for my evening routine, brushing my teeth again and washing my face. Then it's time to slip into my pajamas. I make sure my bedroom is nice and dark and cool, because that's just essential for a really restful sleep. Just before I drift off, I love to spend about 20 or 30 minutes reading. Right now, I'm totally engrossed in a novel in English, and it's doing wonders for my vocabulary, helping me get used to longer sentences and more complex stories. On other nights, I might put on a calming meditation app, often one that's in English, or listen to a very quiet, slow English audiobook. It's a super gentle way to end the day with the language, just letting those sounds wash over me as I relax. This quiet time right before sleep is also my personal space for a little reflection. I often just think about my day. What went really well? What was a bit of a challenge? Did I learn anything new or encounter something interesting? For instance, I might think to myself, today was pretty productive. I managed to finish that big report, which is a relief. I definitely need to remember to thank Sarah for her help tomorrow. Or maybe, you know what, I wish I had handled that conversation a bit differently. Next time, I'll try to use a softer tone. This kind of self-reflection, even if it's just happening inside your head, helps you process everything that happened and actually plan for the future, all while engaging with English. I also make it a point to practice gratitude before I go to sleep. I just mentally list 3 things I'm genuinely grateful for from that day. It could be something big, like a really successful meeting, or something really small, like that perfectly brewed cup of coffee this morning. It's a really positive way to wrap up the day and helps me feel calm and peaceful as I drift off to sleep, ready for another day. Now, as you prepare for bed, take a moment. What happened in your day? What are you grateful for? Try to just think through it in English, even if it's just a few simple thoughts. It's a powerful habit to build. And that, my friends, brings us to the very end of A Day in My Life. I hope this journey has given you a real sense of how much English we actually use in our daily routines. And more importantly, how you can seamlessly weave English practice into every single part of your day. The fantastic thing about this approach is that it's completely flexible and adaptable. You can grab this framework I've shared today and totally make it your own. Apply it to your morning, your unique daily conversations, and your evening. It's all about making English a natural, living part of your world. So here's my challenge for you to really make the most of what we've done today. First, listen actively to this entire episode multiple times. First, just get the gist, the overall story. Then go back and really hone in on those specific phrases. the common expressions, and the new vocabulary. Second, try to shadow me. Pause after my sentences, or even just short phrases, and really try to repeat them exactly as I've said them. Focus on matching my pronunciation, my rhythm, and my intonation. It might feel a bit silly at first, but it's incredibly effective. And third, narrate your own day. Start with your morning routine. Then move through your conversations and your evening. Use the vocabulary and the natural sentence structures you've heard in my story. Don't worry about perfection. Just aim for getting your message across. Remember, consistency is absolutely everything. Even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes of really focused listening and speaking practice each day. Those little efforts are going to pile up and make a huge difference over time. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate every small win. And most importantly, keep engaging with the language. If you found this Day in My Life episode helpful and enjoyable, please do me a huge favor and give it a big thumbs up. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button for English Active Listening so you don't miss any of our practical lessons. And I'd really, really love to hear from you in the comments below. What's one new phrase you picked up today? Or what part of your own day would you like to practice describing in English? Let me know. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep practicing. Keep learning. And I'll be here with you for the next one.